What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gerald from Bank of Gerald here with another video update. And this is going to be a BOJ Speaks, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't done one of these in a little while. And I usually do a BOJ Speaks when there's something that I want to talk about, or there's a general subject or something like that that's going on in our space. And there is a general subject that's going on in our space. And I want to start talking about some of these things because I want to be very transparent in the fact that I am not a blockchain expert. I'm not a person that has spent a whole lot of time doing research on blockchain technology. This is a space that was kind of shared with me because of its earning potential as we're pertaining about as we're talking about some of the things that we have talked about in the past. But there are some general things that go on in cryptocurrency that laymen like me don't know too much about. And I want to start talking about some of those things. I have some good resources. I have some things that have interested me. And I'm like, why not just go ahead and talk about it? From one standpoint, it's at least some content that you can get up there, and it might be able to help somebody that may or may not understand something in this space. From a general standpoint, maybe they understand it a little bit better by watching. And if not, hey, so be it. But there's something that I've started learning about that I had really no idea was even going on because I wasn't in the space at the last time that it occurred. And we're talking about Bitcoin halving. All right. We're talking about this thing that's about to happen that there's countdowns for. There are people looking and watching, and they're saying that this month could be the month that the halving happens. And I was like, well, what is Bitcoin halving? I have no idea what that is. What does that mean for the price of Bitcoin? You know, all of the things that have happened over the past couple months in the raising of the price. Is it a cutting of the price? Like, what does that mean? So I had to do some research, and I found some videos, which I encourage everyone to do. Find some people on YouTube University that you can learn from. All right. This is a very open space. And information now in this time of life is about as abundant as it will maybe ever be. And it's at a time where we have the opportunity to learn some very cool things. So before I get started in what I've learned about Bitcoin halving from a very basic standpoint, I want to remind you all that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, and I'm not your financial advisor, right? I am just a dude on YouTube showing you guys how I'm cranking it out in many different platforms and opportunities, and sharing knowledge as well. Now, of course, this content is strictly for your general information only. No part of this content is financial advice, legal advice, or any form of advice meant for your specific reliance for any purpose. All right. Understand that we are just here to share information that we are learning along the journey. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. Just dude on YouTube showing you guys how I'm getting in many different opportunities, nothing more, nothing less. Now, if you like this content, hit subscribe. You want to be updated, notified, hit the bell. Please, sir, please, ma'am, don't get scammed by the WhatsApp, man, because if you get you, nothing I can do to help you, all right? Stay diligent and diligent in the space and in the comment section as well. So every 4 years, there's something that goes on with Bitcoin, and it is the halving of Bitcoin. Now, what it is the reward for Bitcoin mining gets cut in half every 4 years, all right? And how you might be asking, how do they come up with every 4 years? Is that something that they mandated? Is that something in the code? Is that something on the blockchain? Well, the math is this. It takes about 10 minutes to create a block, all right? And based on that math, the amount of time that it takes to create a certain amount of blocks is 4 years, all right? So this is going to continue. This halving is going to continue until all 21 million Bitcoin are issued, all right? Now, there are some predictions on when that could happen and all that different stuff. We'll kind of get into that. But for every 4 years, until all 21 million Bitcoin have been issued, this halving is going to continue to happen, all right? Now, this is a process that regulates the Bitcoin rewards issues to miners, right? So the reason why they're doing that is so that, of course, it will create a more scarce situation for Bitcoin. They're reducing the amount of reward that the miners get. I know a lot of people took advantage of mining early. A lot of people see mining as that thing that just takes up all this space and energy and all these different things. But I do believe that mining could be going in a different direction as well, based on the new technology that we have with solar technology and hydro technology and all these different technologies that we have. Mining could be getting much easier to accomplish now over time. And maybe the people that develop Bitcoin, they thought about that. They may have thought about that and understood that, hey, as time goes on, we got to continue to make this thing a more valuable thing, right? So we already talked about that. There's 21 million coins. And the process of the halving is is a process that regulates the rewards issued to miners. All right. Now, the rewards issued to miners are because they are helping them secure the network. They're doing a lot of work to make sure that the network stays secure, the blockchain stays secure. All right. It requires miners, and of course, I got some notes here. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes, right? It requires miners around the world to participate in validating transactions and securing the network. All right, that is the whole purpose of mining. But there's incentive to that. There's reasons why people see it as a lucrative thing to get involved with. And of course, miners are awarded with Bitcoin for every block that they add to the blockchain. All right. So every block takes 10 minutes. And of course, they're adding blocks to the blockchain and they're awarded Bitcoin for that. Now, at the time that Bitcoin was launched, the award per block was 50 Bitcoin. All right. Can you imagine making 50 Bitcoin every hour? Especially not, that would be crazy now, right? And each block, like I said, takes 10 minutes to mine. The first halving happening in 2012, when it went from 50 Bitcoin to 25 Bitcoin per block. 2016, it halved again unto 12.5 Bitcoin. And then in 2020, it went to 6.25. Now, of course, we are in 2024, where the anticipation is that it will have again. All right. Now, half of 6.25 is what, ladies and gentlemen? We put all our handy dandy calculator, and we can divide 6.25 by 2. You get 3.125. So that would be 3.125 Bitcoin per block, right? And it continues to have. Now, they say that there's an estimated prediction that in 2140, that will be the last halving, all right? Now, what will happen at that point is miners won't get block rewards, but they will still receive through transaction fees, all right? Now, at that time, hopefully Bitcoin is like interwoven with so many different things in our economy that the transactions are well worth the incentive of mining and keeping the blockchain secure. Now, some of the people like myself ask, what does this mean for Bitcoin? What could this mean for Bitcoin? We can't tell the future. We don't have a crystal ball, but all indications of history have shown us that this starts to create the principle of supply and demand, right? With Bitcoin halving tends to result in the raise of Bitcoin prices. And of course, we'll be able to see that coming up in April. So when I was wondering about, okay, well, what is this going to do to the price? Well, because Bitcoin is going to continuously be more scarce. This halving is continue to happen until all 21 million of these Bitcoin are issued. Now, as we all have seen, there are people all over the world just grabbing as much Bitcoin as they can. And it has just now started in the States. We're starting to see the ETFs show up of all these different big corporations and companies. Even the banks are starting to figure out how they can get their piece of the crypto pie. So, of course, this is moving at a rapid rate. And I don't know if that's, it would make sense that that is starting to accelerate the time frame of the halving situations and well, maybe not the halving situation, but the scarcity and supply and demand of it all. All right. The halving reduces the amount of new Bitcoin entering the market. Bitcoin, of course, like I've said many times, is limited supply of 21 million, which makes it scarce and more valuable. All right. So a lot of people that are excited about the halving, which is what brought me here to this information. There are people that are so excited about this halving because they anticipate Bitcoin hitting that $100,000 mark. That could be some people's exit plan. You know, some people's exit plan was 75,000. Some people's exit plan was 50. And, you know, some people's was in between or lower, or could be even higher because they are a Bitcoin maximalist and they believe that Bitcoin could go astronomically and get astronomically valuable. So with this halving every 4 years, some may say that it's almost, you know, with the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies getting more and more every day, there's a lot of people that are going to be made some very rich people through cryptocurrency and what's going on. And because of the scarcity of Bitcoin and the halving that happens every 4 years, this is going to be the first time we're going to be able to document a halving in my journey. All right. The last halving was in 2020. I didn't start my journey till 2021 on YouTube and started talking about some of the platforms that I've been in. So I had to get some basic information on Bitcoin halving and what is it. So for those of you that want a little bit of a summary, every 4 years, the block reward is what is getting cut in half. It's not necessarily the price of Bitcoin, is what I'm understanding. It is the block reward that miners get for creating blocks on the blockchain, right? And because of the scarcity of Bitcoin, a lot of people believe that the price of Bitcoin is going to raise because of this. Now, of course, like I said in the beginning, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. And we've seen some tickers that say that the halving could happen as soon as the April 20th, 2024. And there was an announcement on March the 30th that there were 3,000 blocks, and there is a halving. For those of you that don't know anything about Watcher Guru, is where I get a lot of my little posts and updates on Telegram. So check them out. But if you go to watcher.guru, WATHER.guru, GURU. I want to share this with you guys. They have a cool little countdown going on here where they believe that the predicted date is going to be April the 20th, 2024. So they have a nice little countdown, how many blocks are remaining, what the current Bitcoin price is right now, sitting at 68,000. We saw it at 71,000 a couple days ago, which has been pretty cool. And the amount of blocks remaining is 2,742. All right. So this is a pretty cool deal here. All right. All that great stuff being said, this is a frequently asked questions portion on Bitcoin halving. So if you have any other questions, you can go and check this out at watcher.guru/Bitcoin-halving. All right. And this is just cool general information, but I definitely wanted to bring this because I didn't personally have a huge understanding of what Bitcoin halving was. And some of you may have felt the same way. You may not have had an understanding. So as we continue on in this crypto space, while we are earning, while we are learning, we want to continue to do both of those things. We want to earn and we want to learn. And this is a part of the learning segment of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to do some more BOJ speaks on some of the things that I'm learning about cryptocurrency, maybe some of the hot ticket points of, the price increases and different things of that nature. And for those of you that are watching that are kind of getting a blueprint of how you may want to use your channels to do the same thing, take some of the information that is coming out about what you're doing and just talk about it. And that's what we're doing today. We're just talking about the information that has been given to us about cryptocurrency. And, we are players in the crypto world. We are pioneers in this crypto space, whether people want to believe it or not. All right. We are still at the beginning of this thing. So put your 2FA on all the platforms that will allow you and all of your wallets, because crypto is indeed the wild, wild west, y'all. And if you ain't strapped, you're bound to get hacked. Ask me how I know. It's not very fun at all. If you like this content, hit subscribe. You want to be updated and notified, hit the bell. And please, sir, please, ma'am, don't get scammed by the WhatsApp man, because if he gets you, or them Telegram folks, or anybody out there trying to get your information, your keys, anything like that, stay diligent and vigilant in this space, all right? And in the comment section of these videos as well. I will see y'all on the next one. This is a little bit of a general information video on Bitcoin halving, as of course, I did not know that much about it, and I wanted to learn a little bit more about it. So I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out.